Where's the camera?
Oh, they're everywhere, man.
I'll grab it in a second.
Go. Need some reverb. Reverb! Release the Wally! The music
beast.
of your people.
Who's on here? What's going on?
Oh, well, you're looking at yourself right now. But
Yeah. What do you have?
you're not really going to see them.
Oh, where the hell are they? Corey Steiner?
They're on the inner world. Yeah.
Corey Steiner online?
Yeah.
Hey, Corey.
Big shout out to Corey Steiner and the RTC page.
Gee, look at that. Batman profile pic.
Yeah, Adam West died over the weekend. You
What?
believe that? Yeah.
Oh, no, I think we heard that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Somebody said it somewhere, I think. Yeah. Yeah, no, he was a...
He was active all the way
I
up to
was
the
a
day he
big-
died.
I was a big fan of him. I hate to say it. I'm that old. He and Robin used to run around in their underpants.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed seeing it.
Yeah. But females'
capes
dresses had to be past the knee, right?
I don't know.
Men can run around in tights back then.
I
right?
don't know. I was just too busy wishing I had one of those capes. Yeah.
So happy weekend, everybody. This is a good end to a great weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
you just got in. So
Yep. Just walked in the door. Corey wants to see some more autographs, so I got to go get that stuff.
did you get any more autographs since we left? Hal Holbrook. I figured I would get a picture or something sent if I got the Hal Holbrook autograph.
An evil thought ran through my mind.
Yeah,
Am I talking too loud?
No, you're fine.
Oh, no, an evil thought ran through my mind because we didn't think Hal Holbrook was going to be at the last event, the last panel that I went to, and he wasn't. So I thought, let's see now. Corey would never know, and I have a Sharpie here. I could Google his signature, probably find it somewhere online, and I could sign it, and Corey would never know. He'd be thrilled.
I would be thrilled. I'd be like, oh, thank you, Wally. Thank you, Wally. This is so cool.
But then
I'm going to hang this up immediately.
I have to live with the lie forever. I decided, no, he's got to just keep trying. And boy, we talked about losing people on the panels. The last one, they switched one on me. So I went down, I took my Austin ride down to the place where, I don't know, whatever one I was going to was supposed to be. And then I walked up to the line. I said, is this the line for that? And she said, no, they moved that over to the SFA ballroom. I was in the wrong place 30 minutes before the thing.
No.
So I had to call. No, I didn't. No, I did. I immediately grabbed another Austin car and ran back over there. And then that panel took quite a while. So I was about to try and decide if I wanted to run over and see the showing of that new show, Glow. Which was
That's about the female wrestlers from the 80s. Yeah.
I only had 30 minutes to go. I thought, well, if it's sold out, I'll have wasted my time. And even if I get there, I'll be stuck in the back row. So I decided to go on into the one. They had one more there at the SF Austin Intercontinental Hotel. So anyway, I just stayed there for that one, and that was the one with Lisa Kudrow, and that show called The Comeback. And actually, it was a good panel, but they were supposed to have several more people on it, which they didn't. But that's okay. They were all good. We had a good time down there. I'm gonna run and grab the autograph stuff. You haven't shown them your stuff yet?
No, I just have that, really.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to unfold my poster or anything.
Oh, we gotta unfold that.
Well, it's from 1981. It's like
oh,
one of those Egyptian Skrillex or whatever they're called. What are they called?
Fragile. That's what they're called. Fragile.
On the pirate paper or whatever. Papaya, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's papaya. I'm not sure. But yeah,
You
on that
need
script paper, it feels like it's going to turn to dust at any moment. So even whenever I was unrolling it for Adam Arkin, I'm like,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
were watching me when I was pushing the top out.
Yeah. You were putting bottles of water on it, and I'm like, no. It's too sensitive.
It all worked out.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, man, it's so reminiscent of Moose Fest 2015 when we were doing the Thule thing.
Yeah.
You know, and coming up with that costume on the fly,
yeah.
and then walking up to the gym where everyone's cheering already for the winner, and we thought we were showing up on
the almost winner.
Yeah.
The
almost winner. Yeah, they were doing the finals.
Yeah.
And I heard that screaming, and I'm like, oh no, we are too late. Not happening. And I was standing in that crate, and you and Pam were pushing me. No, we gotta go. We gotta do this. We're right outside the door.
It's not easy to put this man in a crate.
It was a big refrigerator crate.
Not only that, you can't box this man. He's going to do what he wants to do.
Hulk blood.
You don't put Thule in a box. Well, actually, you do put Thule in a box.
In a wood box, not a paper one, but cardboard. But so we even then, you know, you're not letting me back out of anything. So I had to sneak up there and kind of get in line. And sneak up there, hopefully unnoticeable until Kurt had gotten down to me. But it's impossible.
Well, that was a surprise to him. I remember looking at him. You're so into the character that I was looking at him, and he was kind of like, "Where'd this come from?"
Right?
Because we were down. There were like 4 people left on stage, and then they were voting by applause who was next to be eliminated, and there were 2 people in between Ariel and Thule Man here. And boom, they were gone instantly. So then it came down to Ariel and Thule. And then, unfortunately, the whole back half of the gymnasium where all the people were had not even seen Thule and his box and his costume and everything. So...
Yeah, I mean, it really wasn't much. Just a bunch of flour and...
Oh, no, it was way more than much.
I mean, it was really easy to do, too. But
yeah. Is Ariel on here or Ree?
I don't know. He should be, because we got a surprise for him.
Oh, we better find
Those of you that don't know Ariel, he's the founder and chief admin of the Chef Adam page. Yeah. So if you and Adam Arkin co-admins that with him, so you'll be able to correspond with the man himself.
Yes.
So if you haven't gone to like Chef Adam yet, go hit that up. You will not regret it.
Nope.
Right, Wally?
Absolutely.
That's right. Absolutely not. Regret it.
Yeah, right. We both sent some things to Ariel this weekend, so I think he was enjoying them. Yeah. I'm going to go grab that autograph stuff in.
Absolutely.
And then, we don't know if Ariel's on here?
Oh, I don't know. I'm looking at the production side of this screen.
Okay.
There's Jake. Hey, Jake. Mark Davis.
Hola, Jake.
Nancy.
Nancy?
All the moose heads in the house.
I know a couple names there.
That know about it. And I saw Ryan was here earlier. Ryan Bromley.
Hi,
hey,
Ryan.
everyone. Trace is here.
Trace is here?
Trace is here.
Holy cow.
Through the internet. That's why we're doing it on Facebook tonight, because it keeps it simple, and everyone can just log on and watch it from their phones or whatever. Cool. No complicated Vaughn stuff with Flash, Adobe Player, and all that.
Yeah.
We'll do that later.
Okay. I'm going to go get the my autographs. There's not that many, but there's some good ones.
It's quality, man, not quantity.
Absolutely.
When it comes to the autographs.
And if it's anything to do with Northern Exposure, it's always quality.
Oh, yeah. Northern Exposure quality cannot beat. Wayne. So I could show off my autograph stuff. And I tried to keep as much people in the loop over the weekend, posting pictures. And, a lot of it was selfies. And I apologize that. I usually don't. I took the most selfies today I've ever taken in my life. But when you're there, you're really, in a hurry. You don't want to take up any of their time, more time than, unless, you can go up and engage them. But, sometimes they got places to be. You know what I'm saying? So, when they talk back to you and actually carry a conversation, you can kind of ease up and maybe take a couple of pictures. But when they're passing through on their way out and stuff, you got to get 2 pictures in one, you with them, and so that's why so many selfies. And originally I wanted to go live every night from the hotel, but it really wasn't that eventful. And if I had done that, like, I can cover it in 5 minutes, and to me, it wasn't worth the setting up, and I didn't have a soundboard and all this, and I didn't want to have to worry about quality and stuff, because if the quality sucks, I'd rather just type out a post or something, you know. But that was what I was saying about the hotel, the Intercontinental, and doing horror conventions, and I kind of went off on Larry Cohen because he directed Full Moon High, starring Adam Arkin, before Teen Wolf. And so from conventions, you know, when you have one that's in a hotel, it's always cool to get a hotel room in that hotel, because you can share an elevator with them. Some celebrities like to drink, and, you know, you go down to the bar, you can chat up a storm and buy them a round or two, you know. And it's happened. You know, I've hung out with Michael Berryman from The Hills Have Eyes, if you guys know him, and Weird Science. You know, I was picking his brain at Weird Science because I love that movie, you know. And Tom Savini and all kinds of horror people are laid-back dudes. So, but we were going to stay at that hotel. We decided to opt out and crash at Wally's Pad, so that way we wouldn't be split up. We could chill and hang out. And not to mention, it was $400 a night at that hotel, so we were looking at a $1,200 hotel bill, and we were like, oh, let's just make it real simple. We canceled it a few days before, but I'm glad we did, because we just hung out in the lobby. I mean, the place is really nice. It's the headquarters of the whole festival, so all the celebrities are staying there, and the lobby's open wide, with couches and everything, and it's got really cold AC, which was a huge asset in Austin this weekend. And we just chilled out on the couches and stuff and hung out, and when we saw somebody, we would go up and talk to them and get an autograph if they weren't running out the door, you know, which most of them weren't. Some were, because they're obviously late. But yeah, in hindsight, I'm a lot happier we opted out. So whenever we were down in that lobby, I'll show you the video we took when we didn't make the cut to get into the panel. Me and Pam and myself. We were the cutoff people. The arm came down in front of us. Wally made it, okay, because the ATX Festival worked on this lottery system. And to me, it's flawed. And I may be bitter because I didn't get in the panel, and that's fine. I'm kind of biased to considering it flawed, but when we bought our badges, like back in November, as soon as we heard about the Northern Exposure panel, it's in Austin, we're up here around Dallas, there's no reason not to make that 3-hour drive and go and see them and do the thing. And wow, I'm sitting there looking at Wally while he's walking in with his cool shades on we got in the packet. But when we were in the hotel, yeah, I got the video of them walking out, and they were in a hurry. The ATX staff was rushing them, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear it the first time around, but
I was going to text Ariel.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
But the first time around, when you watch the video of them all coming out of the theater, one guy yelled out Janine, and we were just standing there going to play it cool, and this guy really like, Janine, can you sign? And this and that, and immediately one of the ATX people jumped on him. No, you need to step back. And I mean, you're on a public sidewalk, you know, you need to step back. And he's like, no, you advertise this on your way. And you could hear that. Now, Pam was filming the celebrities and stuff, but you could hear that going on right beside us. And I'm like, okay, good. While she's fighting with him, I'm going to go get my picture with Josh Brand. So we were able to get one while he was in passing. And no autographs that time, but we went to the hotel, like I was saying, and that's where we met everybody just walking around and passing through. So,
question.
What do you got?
Where does Ariel need to go to get online so he can see what you're gonna?
Either K-Bear South, Tully Lives, or the Return to Sicily page.
All on Facebook.
All on Facebook.
I'll just say K-Bear South. I'm sure he knows how to get there.
Yeah. And hi to everybody at all those pages watching right now. I said hello to everybody at those
oh.
pages. The Return to Sicily.
I said hide everybody. Hide everybody.
Hide everybody.
It'll be a big surprise.
Get
for
down now.
Get
down and then get up and get to the chopper. Hide. So, so I met the Mitchell Burgess, the writer, and I met him once as he was passing through. Got my picture with him. We were out on the sidewalk waiting for a ride, and he's walking up again in his like sports coat and flip flops, and
heavy on the flip flops.
yeah, right. He's like, these are my sandals. I mean, the guy was laid back and is like, he's a writer and like taking everything really literal, you know, like, oh, you know, I'm like, hey man, I love them shoes, and he's like, these are my sandals. And I'm like, I know, but you know,
he's got his ponytail too. He's a cool dude.
These are my sandals. I wear them when it's hot. It's like, okay, man, right on.
Yeah. Or somebody didn't. I think Pam said to him, "Cool shoes" or something.
Yeah, because she was
these
wearing...
are my sandals. I wear them when it's hot. That's only a writer would speak like that.
Right, very literal and to the point. You know.
Yep. Ew.
But standing out on the sidewalk waiting for a ride, and he's coming down again. And I said, you know, I don't mean to bother you. Can I go and get your autograph? Because I had my stuff out. I said, can I get your autograph? Also, and he was like, no problem. He said, you want to get my wife's autograph? She's in the bar. And I'm like, oh, and he said, she's my co-writer. You know, I wrote with her, my writing partner. And I was like, hell yes, please. So he takes me in the bar, and that's where Cheryl Block is, the producer, and Adam's sitting there, and they're all talking. So he basically got the signatures for me. He was like, here, this guy's a huge Northern Exposure fan, and you know, you guys sign this. And he said, Adam's here. Did you get Adam? And I was like, oh, yeah, man. I already talked to Adam, thanks to Wally.
We chased Adam all over. He was in 3 or 4 panels. I mean, actually, I saw him in 3 of his panels. And that's a busy man. He is involved. You ought to look him up on imdb.com or anywhere else you want to look, because that gives all the credits of all anything to do with movies and TV. You look somebody up there, and it has all of their filmographies and television work. And
I think everyone knows who IMDb is.
Okay, well, I don't know. Not everybody does.
It's the sunglasses talking.
Yeah, okay.
Have you guys,
I haven't even had
there's this
Royal here.
thing you can Google now. It's called Google and learn stuff.
Well, if you look him up, you'll be amazed, unless you already have, how busy Adam Arkin has been over the years. So he was on Sons of Anarchy. He was a director on Sons of Anarchy with a certain amount of regularity. And then
he directed Opie's Death, if you guys watched that.
Yeah, they talked about that quite a bit in that panel. And then I hit him at another panel with a bunch of famous people where they were talking about, it was called Actors to Action, which was talking about actors who made the transition into being directors, or both, of course, and why they've made that move over, and how they like it, and how they compare and all that. That was a really good panel. But Adam was on that one too. And one of the pieces of information that we got earlier, most of you probably already know it, but Adam Arkin, Chef Adam.
Chef Adam Arkin.
Yeah, got his directing start on Northern Exposure. And I think they said that I know that his first show on Northern Exposure was Aurora Borealis. And we watched that there before the panel started talking and taking questions. And I believe he directed that one also. His first show up on Northern Exposure. That's the one where he arrived he was already in Sicily, but he revealed himself the first time to Joel Fleischman. And I know you all know that episode. It was very good. And no one had ever seen Adam. So then, of course, Joel gets back down into town, and after he's been gone overnight, stranded out on the mountain, and he's met Chef Adam, and he's cooked him a good meal and all that stuff, and then disappeared again. So everybody thinks, well, this new doctor in town is a total nutcase, thinks he's met Adam, and he cooked him this fantastic meal. Anyway, it was a great episode. And I think that was if that wasn't his directing debut in Northern Exposure, it was very shortly thereafter. So that's where he got started in directing, and he was pretty happy to have been given that opportunity to direct that show or shows there.
Right on.
Yep.
Well, it looks like Ariel's here.
Ariel.
And Jake Callahan said, hey, radio works for you.
Can I go get a little sip of Crown Royal before we give Ariel his surprise?
Jake Callahan said, you have a face for radio.
See,
he didn't say that.
I'm looking a little like, where am I? Over here. I'm looking a little like Jake Callahan here, but I don't know if these probably won't show up in the light. Where's the camera here? We can see.
Oh, there's one there.
Where they can see these things.
Yeah.
Look at these cool FX free sunglasses we got.
It's a snowfall promotion, and we'll talk about the snowfall panel.
About that. I wore these. I didn't bring any sunglasses with me, so I wore these all the way down to Corey and Pam's place here at K-Bear South. I wore these down from Austin. I'll get this right. There it is. This is a pretty cool show that's coming up. Actually, a very cool looking show. And these are good sunglasses. I grabbed a couple more pair before we got away from there. They were walking, the last panel I went to, they were walking down the line of people outside waiting to get in and had a little box of a few of them left and said, you want another pair? Do you want a pair? Yeah, I do. I grabbed another pair. These will be in my car. So if any of you ever ride in my car, there'll be a pair of these for you.
For you. You're going to love them.
Yeah.
Mark Davis said Family Feud was Adam's first director's job.
Oh, Family Feud?
I would have never guessed that myself anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I need to get on YouTube tonight. Look up some of that.
Was that one of the NX episodes?
What? Family Feud?
No, well, I know the show.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, they said that North Exposure was his first one, but they were lying to us. I guess.
Oh, they're feeding you lies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they knew Entertainment Weekly was there, so
okay.
they want to make sure
Okay.
the tabloids don't take it and run wild.
I need something to drink. I'll be back.
Yeah. I'll wait for you.
Where's your crown?
Family Feud Season 5. Gotcha. I was wondering. I was like, the game show? So, Family Feud was Season 5, dude. It wasn't the game show.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, no,
that makes more sense.
Right, yeah, no.
And it makes more sense we didn't know about it because it was Season 5.
Yeah. That was his...
Nuck.
That was his directing debut in the directing world.
Yeah, okay. So, no lies. It's all the truth.
Is it okay to set this on your record?
Yeah.
Okay. You want a coaster? No?
No.
Okay.
No coasters in K-Bear. But, alright, so let me see if I can do this transition here for Ariel. And, I'll go ahead and show the other videos I got too, so.
It's going. Ariel, we were here. Where were you, buddy? I hope to see you at Moose Fest or somewhere equally fun soon. Get out of here, you imbecile.
It's on your website. I cried for you guys. Oh my god. It was so worth it. Did you see Adam? Ouch. Oh, my nose is so big it gets everything. Did you see Adam in this group? I didn't see him there. No. He's going out the back.
Hello, okay. Woo! Ow! Alright. Sorry about that. Yeah, that was for you though, Ariel, man. I'll get that ripped out of there and get it posted. But we were trying to be quick, and it was he was saying hi to you. I told him, I asked him to say something in old school Adam fashion, and that's where he was like, "Get out of here, you imbecile." Yeah, I see. Thank you. Pam's coming back here giving me thumbs up, thumbs down, no sound, and I should know this because I'm looking at the board, but yeah, I'm using this VLC player, so I'm not, it's kind of weird how it works, and I haven't figured it out yet. That's why, one reason why you don't see more shows coming out of K-Bear South, but once it gets figured out, you sure will. see more. So, that was at the Sons of Anarchy panel, and I want to find out everything that happened at the Northern Exposure panel, because Adam Arkin wasn't supposed to be there.
Hold on, I'll tell him that story.
Okay. Tell him that story, Wally. Because I didn't, like I said, I didn't get to get in the panel, so I'm kind of hearing, I heard tidbits from him and Kurt, but I think you'll give a pretty thorough explanation as to what happened, right?
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's like the pieces of the cosmos all came together for me for that panel, but then it all worked out in the end for Corey and Pam, too. So I was sure glad that happened. But the way they do these panels, they have a lot of different venues where there are all these different panels going on at once. This is a big deal. There are a few thousand people at this thing. And I don't know how many different TV shows are represented there. I would guess probably over 100. So not just TV shows, but also those sorts of panels where they talk about the behind-the-scenes stuff, about the shows, and on and on and on. But anyway, the way they work these things is you go into a lottery to get fast passes, what they call fast passes, and everybody gets 4 fast passes if they entered themselves into the lottery. They put their top 4 choices, they're actually their top 8 choices, and they will give you 4. You don't know whether you're going to get your numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. In my case, I was really lucky. I got 1, 2, 3, and then like number 5 or 6 on my list. Corey and Pam got aced out of number 1, which was there was Northern Exposure, which was the main reason for coming to the deal, and that was my whole reason for coming down. And anyway, we got up. Oh, and also then on those fast passes, if you have a venue, let's just say it holds 100 people, they were supposed to give like 15% to the fast passes. They get in 20 minutes before the show, so the first 15 people or whatever in that 100-seat venue would get in on the fast passes. Then it's open to everybody. So until it's full. Anyway, so we were all in line. They have a fast pass line and then a regular line. And Corey and Pam got messed up by their Uber driver on the way down there, and that cost them about 5 minutes or more.
Yeah.
And it looked fine because they were only about 20, 25 people back in the line of regular people. And the venue for this one was an old theater. There were 2 theaters in this building there downtown. And this particular theater only holds 72 people total. So we still, looking at where they were in line, it looked like they'd be fine. Well, there were probably, I don't know, maybe 25 people, 25 or 30 fast passers that came in. So that's way past the 15 limit or whatever it was for fast passes. Although I guess they would let them in next. I don't know. Anyway, not nearly as many of the non-fast pass people were able to get in because the theater was full. So I was right in line with Kurt. You all know Kurt from Moose Fest, one of the ones who runs Moose Fest. He was there right in the front with me and another lady who was at Moose Fest last year. Moose Fest, the 25th anniversary. And we got in, and Kurt and I ran right to the front row. So we were like 6 feet from the panel. It was just awesome. But everybody got seated, the whole theater filled up, and then one of the organizers came over to us in the front row and said, "I'm really sorry, but we have to make room for the panel to sit and watch the showing of Aurora Borealis before we do the panel." And we're looking at each other going, whoa, wait a minute. We were here way, way early, and we have fast passes, and now you want to move us to the very back row? This isn't right. We didn't get angry. No, it was nothing like that. It wasn't a confrontation. But they said, no, don't worry. They just need seats for the showing up on the screen. So as soon as the screwing, as soon as the screening,
Freudian slip.
as soon
Freudian slip.
as soon as the screening is of Aurora,
I got screwed.
yeah,
That was the screwing. The screwing was going on outside.
that was,
He went to the screening. I went to the screwing.
and that one was not Freudian. Anyway, they said, no, you can come down as soon as Aurora Borealis is done. You can come back down to the front row because the cast will be getting up and moving to their chairs right up front. So, okay, that's fine. No problem. So we got up. Kurt and I got up. We went up to the very back row, right where the door opened to go into the kitchen, where the food and stuff was coming out. You can get food while you're watching these things at this theater. And anyway, we sat down in these 2 folding chairs there, and it was all dark in the theater because we were about to roll the movie. And well, let me back up one step. Adam Arkin was not even listed on the panel for Northern Exposure, which we couldn't figure out.
Yeah,
but
that was weird.
I mean, here he is, one of the main characters. But anyway, he was not on the panel, but he was there at this event doing 3 other panels. So we were just kind of hoping, and we had talked about it, hopefully he will finish the one that he had that ended at 11 and come running over. He would have 15 minutes to get over to our panel. So anyway, so we didn't know if we were going to see him or not there. So we were all sitting waiting for Aurora Borealis to start. And here come these 2 people, a man and a woman. They're in the dark, coming up the stairs, and then they come up right by us there. And Kurt was sitting on my right, and they pulled out one more chair. So we squeezed in a little tighter, and I looked over at the guy standing there, and the woman I didn't recognize. I looked up at him, and it's very dark, like I said. And I leaned into Kurt. I said, "Is that Adam?" And Kurt said, "Oh, no, I don't think so." And I said, "Are you sure?" And he looked up again. He said, "That is Adam." So he jumped up and said hello, and Adam pulled him back into the kitchen area there because he wanted to let him know. He wanted to talk to him about Moose Fest next year, the formal one. And then pretty soon, so it was Adam's wife sat down right next to me, and then Adam sat down on that chair just to the right of her. So, and then Kurt wound around all the way through the kitchen to the other side, and he stood to my left during the whole showing of Aurora Borealis. So I sat right next to Adam and his wife for this whole showing. And that show, again, I'm saying again, that was the one where he first appeared in Northern Exposure. And it was fun to be sitting there with them because they were, I've always wondered, can they watch their own work and enjoy it objectively or for its value? And he and his wife were laughing through the same things we would laugh at. And his wife was really laughing much harder. I don't know how long ago it was since she saw these Northern Exposure episodes, but he was so good. You all know that. So anyway, when they got done with Aurora Borealis, they turned the lights back up. And right at that moment then, I had my... I have that German box set as well. Thank you to Otto out there. I know he probably won't hear this, but over in Germany. But I had the lid and one of the inside sleeves. So I instantly, before things got crazy and he got mobbed, I'd already talked to him a little bit, but I pulled that out. And I said, "Hey, before you get mobbed here, would you mind signing this?" So he signed the my sleeve there.
You have
just
that?
came in. Yeah, I do.
All right.
Shall I put it up on camera here?
Yeah, it's right here. I'm just gonna move your glass there.
So there's. Well, let me.
Yeah, you can.
There's the German cassette cover of the first set of discs for the seasons 1 and part of 2. And if you look in this corner down here,
yeah, that's Adam's right there.
That's the first signature. There's Adam's autograph on that.
And then you got Mitchell Burgess as well. And
Yeah.
then who's above that? Above Mitch Burgess there?
Well, his wife, Robin.
Okay, Robin Green.
Yeah,
And then
Robin Green. And Cheryl Block was the producer.
Cheryl Block.
That's Cheryl Block.
And then
right
did
over
you get
here.
Did you get Josh Brand?
And Josh Brand is right at the bottom by Adam.
Oh, right there.
Right there. Right there. There's Joshua Brand, the creator of the show.
See, very
Yeah.
cool.
So that goes very carefully back into my box set at home.
Very carefully.
Yeah. Never to be touched again.
Yeah.
But so anyway, got the autograph, and they were getting the panel ready to go there. Everybody was in their chairs, and Kurt had already gone back down to our front row seats, and I snuck down there and tiptoed across right in front of the panel, bending down so I wasn't blocking anything, because they had just started talking, and got into my seat, and nobody really, I don't think more than 3 or 4 people knew that Adam was even in the house. So they got started on the panel. They introduced everybody again, and then they started talking. They took a couple, 3 questions, and they were going on. And then finally somebody said, "Isn't Adam here?" He was still sitting way up in the back with his wife. And somebody said, "Isn't Adam here?" And then he stood up in the back, and the crowd went nuts. Because, of course, like, Adam's here. Holy cow. And then he was just going to stay up there. He was just standing there, and he was waving to the crowd and said hi. And somebody said, "Well, come on down here." So our moderator got up from her stool there sitting right next at the end of the panel. She was the one directing the deal and asking the questions, and so he came down and sat down in that chair then. So we had the, Rob and Janine and why do I keep drawing a blank on her name? Shelley.
Cynthia Geary.
Yeah, Cynthia, and Adam there on the panel. Plus, then of course, the writing team and Joshua Brand and the producer. So it was a great panel, and they went on for, gosh, I guess they had another half hour or so that they went on, taking questions from the moderator and talking about all kinds of things related to the show. And one of the things that they were talking about, particularly Cynthia was talking about, the loss that she saw in the show. Everyone in that show had losses that they had to deal with. Like I've said before, it's such a timeless theme show that we've all experienced so many of the things that they put on screen for us. And that was kind of what she was talking about, were the losses that the people in the show experienced. And as well as that would apply to us in life, of course. Everyone experiences loss over the course of their life. And one of the other things that was a real highlight of it for me and for everybody was Rob was talking about Joel's path through the whole show from beginning to end. How he came in on the plane and he was a totally different person than he was when he left. And he was talking about how his character made that transition, that arc from beginning to end into a completely different person. Instead of this arrogant Jewish doctor, as he described himself coming in, of course he was still the Jewish doctor going out, but the arrogance was gone and he appreciated people much more, and he got really choked up. You could see the tears in his eyes. He said, it chokes me up even thinking about it. So it really did mean something to him, which really meant a lot to me too. And I mean, I can feel it right now just telling about it, because it was a big deal for him. It was an early acting job, as it was for all of them, and it was a very meaningful experience for them at that point in the beginning of their acting careers. So it was really fun to see that, and you could see that it really did mean something to them. So anyway, they talked about just various things related to the show and the characters and so forth, but just mostly general stuff. And should I talk about the potential?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. So, because when they walked out of there, it wasn't but hours, and you got Entertainment Weekly tweeting and everyone else tweeting the same information about the whole cast is ready for more. So, what did they say in particular at that panel that they were reporting later that day?
Well, I'm going to assume that most of the people here are aware of Darren Burroughs' project, which and his partner Bernie in Film Farms, the project that they've been working on for a little over a year now, called More Northern Exposure Now. And if you just Google that, if you don't know what it is, do that, and you'll find it real quick. And because they did a GoFundMe campaign, they raised $100,000 to start working toward getting the rights, getting all the legal stuff in place, hiring a writer, which they did, and at least a couple of scripts have been written for at least a couple of episodes. It started out that it was going to be just I think a 2-hour return to Sicily was their idea in the beginning, but at some point after 3 or 4 months in, they made the decision to turn it into more like a maybe 10 to 12 episodes or maybe 8 to 10 episode string of shows. And anyway, they did hire one of the original writers, and he has the stories down on paper now, I guess, to get the ball rolling. And during the course of this panel, so that project has been out there for a year now, and people are talking about it and wondering what's going on, and I've sent them a little bit of money too toward this thing, and so I get the updates and stuff from them, and they were 2 or 3 that came in just shortly before this deal down in New Mexico. And then one of the people in the audience did finally, I was going to ask what their awareness was of Darren's project and if they had any desire to work with him to put some more together. But then someone in the audience, without even mentioning Darren, asked if there was a chance of us seeing more Northern Exposure episodes in the future. And Josh Brand really jumped right on that and said, it was such a great show, and it didn't, probably didn't end the way they wanted it to. And he said it would be terrific, that they would love to see put some more episodes up for us all. And a couple of them talked about the fact that Rob has been working on it as well. So I don't know if they didn't mention Darren's name specifically. And Corey and I talked about it quite a bit after that. And we kind of reasoned through it. I had some ideas and Corey had some ideas. And I think we both agree that they must be talking about it together. So I think that Darren's project, he's still working on it, trying to put this together. And I think that Rob is probably talking with him. And Rob, with his connections, is probably working the other end, and the two of them are working together to make it happen. And it sounds like the entire panel wants to do this. You've got the main actors right there, so I would have, and Josh Brand too. I don't know. I kind of got the impression he would be involved as well. I would assume as a producer or something. I don't know, but the willingness to do it seems to be there.
Yeah.
So
after those announcements. It seems like it's just a matter of time before it all comes together. Like they all get on the same page.
Well, of course, money is the biggest thing.
Right.
Here.
In time, you got some busy, Rob Morrow and Adam Arkin, busy guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And John Corbett, he's still acting. Right. So he would. It wouldn't be much of a reunion if he weren't there. He too. So
exactly.
Yeah. There's a lot of things to coordinate, and this is going to involve,
but it seems like the more it snowballs, like the more people, and it made me wonder if because it's a TV festival, if the pressure was on, if the question was asked, and who was going to be the one to say, no, I don't want any more Northern Exposure.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But even if they didn't go in there with the agenda to talk about keeping it going or starting anew, they at least acknowledged that it could happen, and they all immediately jumped on board. And from what you say and what's being reported out there, it doesn't seem like there's much doubt.
Right. Well, it's the money. So now what they have to do is, from little snippets I'm getting here and there, are they're still looking for a streaming service. They need to find someone who will pick it up, and that would be a network like an Amazon or a Netflix or something like that, who would be streaming the episodes.
Yeah.
And of course, they'd be putting up the money. Now,
I'd be leaning towards Netflix, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So aren't they the ones doing the Twin Peaks? Or no, that's what I'm watching Twin Peaks on now, because I haven't watched the whole thing. So,
Showtime, I believe, picked up the new one.
Gotcha.
So they put up the money for that. But yeah, I would think Netflix would certainly be a natural. They have a lot of original programming, but so does Amazon. And I don't know. I don't use any others, so I don't know what other streaming networks are out there doing this kind of thing. It wouldn't necessarily have to be a pay site either. There are other like USA Network, or I don't know. There have to be others as well. So anyway,
well, it'd be nice to watch it without commercials.
Oh, that's
maybe if they wanted to throw the A&E Daybreak bumpers in there, that would be cool.
No, that would be awesome. Yeah,
if they want to make a true throwback.
I don't know. The panel themselves were done with the moderator's questions for the most part. I think she had a few more because she thought it was going to go a little longer. Matter of fact, I think she was a little bit upset about it. And anyway, I don't know that they would have brought up the possibility of more episodes, but the audience member they gave a little time for the audience to ask some questions, and somebody did ask the question, so they did address that directly. So whether they were going to talk about it or not, I don't know. But something else came to mind about it. I can't think what it was now. It'll come back.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, it was kind of funny because I had already, of course, I sat there with Adam during the whole showing, so I got his signature right off the bat, and then got the picture, which I texted to Ariel, and which he posted, I believe, of the two of us standing there together. His wife took that picture for us, but I didn't get the chance to get the autographs. I was hoping for the three main actors, of course, too, Rob and Janine and gosh dang it, Shelley. And so we went on our way and went to some other panels and so forth, and for other shows and all that. And then the main hotel was the SFA. I don't remember what it even stands for, but it was a big fancy hotel there, and they had quite a few panels there as well. And that was the fancy place where a lot of the actors and all that were staying. And we happened to be in the lobby. Well, actually, I guess I happened to be in the lobby there. I was just coming back out of the room, headed toward the exit, and it was near dinner time. I guess it was about dinner time, and I was carrying my bag around all weekend with my box set cover and a Sharpie. And all of a sudden, I saw Josh Brand standing there, and he just took off his glasses. I looked at him, and I thought, I think that's Josh. And when he took off his glasses, he looked different. But then I kind of walked around to the side of him and thought, yeah, that is Joshua Brand. So I pulled out my sleeve to get it signed and the Sharpie, and it was just a good time. They were just waiting for a car or something. I walked up, and then I realized it was all of them. So I walked up very nicely, and I held out my sleeve there for them to sign, just like that, with the Sharpie on top of it. I said, hey, can I be rude? He signed it, and then I just moved around the group, and every one of them picked it up and had something nice to say, and each one of them signed it. And I go, thank you so much, and went on my way. And of course, at this point, now Corey's, darn it, he missed the panel, and he doesn't have signatures yet either. So he was getting pretty bummed, and I would be too.
Bum's a good word for it.
Yeah. So
What's up?
Anyway.
But
it was later then. Was it it was the same day then that we got this, or was it the next day?
I think it was the next day.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
We were back in
because we were doing panels later on that day. We
Yeah.
actually kept a schedule
Yeah.
somewhat.
So we ended up back
But-
over at that SFA hotel. We were in the lobby again, and Corey and Pam were sitting on the couch there, and I think I got to the bathroom or something. I came walking back toward them, and just at about the 2 o'clock position over to my right is the entrance to the bar. And as I was approaching Corey and Pam, I looked to my right, and of course I just stared at Cheryl Block for the last hour, and here she came walking by, just taking off her sunglasses, headed for the bar. So I put my finger up, looking at Pam, pointing this way, because Corey was talking to somebody. I pointed that way at her, and they said, well, what are you pointing at? Well, it's Cheryl Block, the producer of the show right there, and if she's here, the odds are pretty good that there are some others with her. So sure enough, the whole gang was here. Well, Mitchell Burgess came by too. Who did you get? Did you actually get a signature? No, you didn't get a signature yet.
I just got a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told him, and then I got
Yeah.
it later on, and
Yeah.
he took me into the bar.
Yeah, that's right. So
And
they're
there's
in
mine
the
right
bar.
there. You guys have already seen the picture online, but
Doesn't that look awesome? That gold on top of the wood. That's the wooden cover for the German box set.
yeah, and you see, Pam's the graphic designer, so I was like, how am I going to get this signed and have it visible? And
Yeah.
she said, gold.
Yeah, and
It's like gold. That's what Elvis would do.
yeah, and that gold just looks awesome on that brown wood. If you guys haven't found this German box set, you need to find a way to order that thing. It is just awesome.
That's
I think,
right.
I think Corey might have maybe already shown something about it.
Well, I did an
Over to you.
unboxing video
You've already put it out?
before we left, yeah.
Oh,
because
okay.
I wanted to get it. I had to open the box
Right.
to get the autographs, to take this with me to get the
Yeah.
autographs. So I was in a hurry
Yeah.
that I had to hurry up and get this unboxing video done
Yeah.
because, everyone saw it as I saw it
Yeah.
whenever I opened it up.
Oh,
so
okay. You did a live
everything
unboxing.
was, yeah, live unboxing.
Oh,
It was
okay.
really neat.
Yeah. Okay. So
Posters, coasters, you
yeah.
name it.
Can
It was
people
really
see
cool.
this? Is there a link to it so people can?
Well, it
replay
should be.
or-
You could be able to scroll down. I didn't delete
okay.
the live
Oh, okay.
video. I mean, basically, when you do a live video or live stream like this on Facebook, it archives it.
Yeah.
Once I stop streaming, it'll stay there. You
Oh,
can watch
does.
it later. Yeah.
A live video that you put out when anybody goes live, it stays on their timeline.
Yeah, unless they delete it or something.
But
And
then-
those of you guys that have been up late night, like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and have seen me test on here, know exactly what I'm talking about, because I've probably deleted a whole bunch of live streams that I've done sitting
Yeah.
back here trying to figure it all out, at 2 or 3 in the morning,
Yeah. Okay.
so
Huh. So what gets it back? Maybe you can move, or you can probably lock it to the top of your timeline or whatever, right? If not, then,
like pin it up at the top?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
yeah. I don't know. You might want to do that for
I
a
know.
little while or something.
Man, when I'll go ask a teenage kid or something, hey, how do you use Facebook? Can you start a Snapchat for me? Can you open an account for me? But
Welcome home. Just ain't coming.
Friends, because the prices are great and they love it.
Save 20% on your favorite brands and get fast free shipping. Shop online. A cashmere whisper.
wow, Wally smile.
Oh no. Yeah.
Calling it the Wally Pop. I happened to buy some of those pop snaps because it's close to the 4th of July. We're getting there. So I was like, these might come in handy for the trip. So I tortured Wally with them. But that's about it as far as the Northern Exposure panel. Getting the autographs, hanging out in the hotel, and Kurt had the lunch with them, and then I guess it sounded like after that Kurt went home after the lunch. He's like, this can't be topped. Nothing the rest of the weekend is going to top this, because he went and had lunch with them and everything and talked to them about Moose Fest 2018, and they were all down to do it. They seemed excited. Adam Arkin said that he was really going to try to be there. So
I hit his wife up about the next panel too. Sat down with her and said, "Hey, have you guys been to Rosslyn or for Moose Fest?" She said no, but she'd really like to get there. I said, "Well, it's time for you to start twisting his arm." So hopefully she'll work on him too.
yeah, just I hope the enthusiasm stays up. It's so easy to just go back home and get back to work and totally forget about it and put it in the back of your mind. Hopefully it'll stay in the front of their minds.
Well, I don't know if Ariel is still online, but Ariel, you got the direct shot to him right there, man.
There you go. Keep on him.
Yeah.
Tell him you already booked your flight and everything. You're
Yeah.
ready to see him. So
Yeah, just because he
No
said, "Hey, you'll
pressure.
see you at Moose Fest." Yep.
So other than that, we saw a panel for Midnight Texas later that night. That'll be airing, I think, next month.
Next month.
On NBC, I think, and it's a
Yeah.
vampire. It's got like a bunch, like 5 different supernatural characters: a vampire, a psychic, a witch, and a few others. But
The name
a
of the
talking
name,
cat. We got to see
Yeah.
the first episode a month in advance.
Yeah.
So that's what the festival has to offer. For the noobs to go in, for like us to go in, we get to watch these new TV premieres way before they come out for the public. So that makes it kind of cool, and for the most part, and their Q&As with the cast and the producers after each one, so that's always really neat. They come out and sit in chairs and answer questions, and it's really cool seeing the people you just watched in the on the big TV.
Yeah.
You just were on the TV. How'd you get down there? How'd you get in that chair there? But
Well, the name of that show comes from the town. It's Midnight Texas. It's a town where people who want to get away from everything and hide away, that's where they go, to Midnight Texas. And then you have that wild variety of characters there. It looks very good. And we got some good pictures of the panel there, too. I'll probably post those then in a couple of days.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to look at those.
yeah, and you'll see it in the slideshow when we get out of here. I'll put the slideshow up again real quick, and you'll see.
Oh, you got those up there already.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah, but I mean, post them anyway. This is just a quick, whoever's viewing at the time.
Sure.
But another panel, which is actually where these shades, these cool blue shades that we got for free came from, was the Snowfall panel. And it's a John Singleton show. He's gone from movies like Boys in the Hood and that South Central 80s and 90s stuff to this TV show that's going to premiere on FX in a month. And FX, hosts Sons of Anarchy and these other late night risque TV shows. And this is no different.
Very, very strong. So I probably wouldn't recommend having the kids watch it with you.
No, you don't want that.
No.
Because it's about the CIA and crack cocaine epidemic and how that...
In South America.
Well, no,
well,
in South Central L.A. I mean, it's about how it all happened.
The drugs coming from South America.
Yeah, and it tells the story about all that stuff. So it's supposed to be accurate, too. So that's definitely worth it. I know I'm going to be watching that because there's just too much crazy stuff that went on in that episode to not want to see more, you know.
Really good actors they've cast in the roles, too. It looks like it will be, well, if it's John Singleton, you know it's going to be well done anyway. And I'll be watching it, too.
Right on. Did you get to meet Edward James Olmos?
I didn't meet him. I didn't go up shake hands with him. Could have, but he was on that panel with a bunch of other people.
Battlestar Galactica. That was a pretty big.
That was huge.
Pretty big panel. Even ATX was tweeting about that.
Yeah, I don't know how many people were in that theater, and there must have been close to a couple thousand people. And it was their I don't know how many years it's been. It was a big reunion. They have one big one every year of ATX, and that was the one this year. Last year, I think it was the West Wing. And the whole group, I was talking to a couple other people about that one. They said that one was just awesome, too.
Nice.
They had most of the main characters from West Wing there. And this one, they had about 7 or 8 of the main characters. And I don't know the actor who's living in England now who Skyped in the middle of it, too. So we got to see all of them. And
that's cool.
Edward James Olmos was in at least 2 panels, maybe 3. Another well-spoken guy. He was in the one that was... actor to action, because he made that transition too, from started off as an actor, and then, well, in his case, he was almost, like he said, he was almost forced to learn everything. He learned everything about it after that, editing, cinematography, all the way up to directing and producing, and he was a good guy to listen to. He's got so much experience. It was a great panel. Ken Olin, Adam Arkin was on that one too, Keira Sedgwick, and a guy named Patrick Davis from a show called Suits. That's a very popular show, I guess. I haven't watched it myself, but I may give that a shot too. Now that I met this guy and listened to him talk, it looked like a decent show, pretty well done. And evidently, people really love that actor too. So
on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate the whole festival?
Well, I talked to a couple people actually about some of the things we talked about. And I was telling them about how people are very, like yourselves, are disappointed in some things. I don't know if these guys want to hear this. But one of the organizers...
You told them we were disappointed?
No,
you didn't point us out, did you?
Oh, Lord, no. No.
I'm just kidding.
On the last panel there, one of the organizers sat right next to me. So I pulled out the schedule. We had time to talk a little bit before we moved on. And I said, I'm not criticizing or complaining. I'm going to give you a constructive thing because my friends and I talked about it and we've been thinking about it. So I opened up their schedule there, and they have a grid for each day. It shows the times that things are happening in each venue. And my opinion was that you have something like this, people come to it because they want to see the shows, the people in the shows that they really enjoy, and they are fans of the show and the actors. So when they come to this, I don't know what percentage of those people in this audience want to actually go up and shake hands with their stars and get an autograph or a selfie or just a photo or whatever. I said, I don't know, maybe 25% of them. It's not going to be all of them who want to even do that. They are happy to have been there, watched the panel, seen them, snapped a couple
pictures. And some of them are killing
leave.
time.
Yeah, and then they leave.
Between their next panel.
But if it were like 25% of the people want to go by and say hi and, a little tiny Facebook time or a little FaceTime with their stars, then there needs to be some time for them to do that. I said it needs to be made clear to those panelists that you're going to have 30 minutes at the end to interact with your fans. And the problem that I understand that they have with the ATX Festival is these venues, they have so many things crammed in back to back, one right after another, that there isn't time and there's nowhere for those stars to gather with the fans. So I said I would suggest you eliminate some things that weren't that popular. You don't need more stuff. They have so much stuff crammed into the 3 days now. They've got more than they need, and they need to build an extra half hour at the end of each one of those where they can stay right where they are. All the fans are there, all the stars are there, and then they can have this little face-to-face thing and then shift them out. They don't need as much stuff as they're trying to put on, but they're only in their 6th year, so they're still learning. And
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you
No,
rate
we're back
this
to that.
festival?
You're gonna make me be a bad guy? No.
Oh, well, it depends.
No,
What do you rate it? I
no,
mean,
honestly, the only reason I enjoyed everything about it, except there does need to be that time there with the people. So, other than Northern Exposure, I didn't really care about any FaceTime for myself. So I'd be one of those in that case that I don't care if I go up and get an autograph or anything like that. I wanted the Northern Exposure autographs.
well, that's why you have a complete 360-degree perspective.
Sure.
Because you wouldn't experience the other panels as well as
Right.
getting in the one that you went there for.
Yeah.
So you would rate it a.
I would still give it an 8, probably.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no,
See, I would give it a 7.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, it was still a fun festival, and even though I was pretty upset whenever the arm came down and said you guys can't go in,
Yeah.
but it really, me and Pam were both just really happy you and Kurt got to make it in there,
Right.
because you flew all the way from California, and Kurt flew all the way from Seattle,
Yeah.
and it's like as long as you guys got in, that's fine. And I knew that Kurt was going to be working his magic for Moose Fest, and
Yeah.
I was like, hopefully, whatever we're missing out on, we get to see at Moose Fest 2018, and so as long as it made us feel better that at least you guys were able to get in, because if we were all left out there and none of us got to see the panel.
Oh,
I mean, I give it a 1.
Yeah. No, it set the building on fire.
Right, yeah.
No.
Rage!
I mean, it was so important, especially for Kurt to get in, because that's what enabled him to make the connection.
And go to
directly
lunch
with all
right
of them.
after. I mean, he went to
Yeah.
lunch with him right after, and then he's like, I can't top this.
Right.
They already set us down. And I guess Janine and Rob, we really didn't see them the rest of the time. They probably went home, too.
they
Janine
probably
only
left.
lives, 20 minutes from here, so she probably just drove 3 hours back
Yeah.
right after lunch or whatever. So she had her daughter
Right.
with her and her mom, I think. So
Yeah. Yeah. And
probably
Adam-
the same
Adam-
for Rob, too,
Yeah.
I
Adam
mean,
had his-
it was a biker weekend, too, and that was annoying as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard to have a conversation on the street without having bikes revving up and down constantly.
Yeah, no, there were hundreds of bikes there. That's what a couple of the Ride Austin drivers were telling me about them. How they do block off 6th Street anyway on the weekends, which I didn't realize. 6th
Yeah, like
Street
it's like
is-
Bourbon Street
Yeah.
in New Orleans and stuff.
Yeah.
Austin's cool like that.
Yeah, but they had way more than just 6th Street blocked off. They were blocked everywhere. So all these poor drivers, when we were trying to get someplace, were having to go around about 18 extra blocks to try and get us to the locations. But, they make it work, so...
Yeah. And
All
you
in
know
all-
it's a good town whenever you see signs for musician loading and unloading.
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
But
So Kurt made his connection for all of us.
All of us,
for
yeah.
Moose Fest next year.
that's how it works.
And it'd be so cool if we got all that panel right there.
And at Moose Fest, if you attend, you're guaranteed a little FaceTime with them.
Oh yeah, you're rubbing.
They do
elbows on
autographs and
Right.
stuff, so you
Yeah.
walk up to the table, you can say hi, and
them. And you see them while they're in town all
yeah,
weekend.
and they're in town all weekend, so
Yeah.
there's nowhere to really run to get away.
No hiding. Yeah.
I did leave, Moose Fest 2015, I did leave Barry and them alone whenever they were at the Brick, because it was just like they were surrounded by people. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'll try to catch them next time.
Yeah.
But,
Yep.
well, other than that, I guess that will conclude this live cast and overview/review of the ATX Festival and the awesomeness of the Northern Exposure panel and the people involved.
So I got my my macho blue sunglasses back on just for Jake
Yeah,
there.
you can sport them back to California.
If
and
Jake's still out there. That's for you, Jake.
you gotta send some to Jake, the Whip Fox. Whipping up the tunes.
Yes.
So, well, let's say goodbye, Wally.
Okay.
What's it all about?
Northern Exposure.
And
K-Bear. South.
you have the cover. K-Bear South. It's all about the Sicily love, man. Right?
Oh, yeah, well, of course.
Well, of
That's
course.
That's my profile
Well, that was a
page.
given. I
You
understand.
didn't tell me.
Yeah, that was a given. So,
Yeah.
well, good night, Mooseheads. Thank you all for
Okay.
tuning in, and we'll see you next time. I'm Corey, a.k.a. Tooley Lives, and this is Wallace/Walter
/Fun Freak.
/Fun Freak.
Watch out, this guy's around for those pop rocks.